24, free safety, Anton Arujo, who's been a really big, made an effect last season, the small amount that he was able to play, but a guy that I want to watch a lot. He's a really pure athlete. He plays basketball as well. As a great tackle there, but made by number 38, the strong safety, Brendan Murphy, had a pick six back in the game against Seattle Prep, and that will force a second down, and it looks like 4 here for the Beavers. For you just joining us now live on YouTube, I'm Jack Nolan, joined here by Luke Hardy. We apologize for any technical difficulties we are encountering at this time. We'll work through them as fast as possible as it's Farley back in the gun again. He gives to Crocker up the middle. Crocker able to find some room before being finally wrapped up and tackled by multiple Irish defenders led by number 29, Khalil Holiday. And that's good for yet another Beavers first down. I've been able to talk with Luke a lot about how this is not the same Irish defense we've seen here early on. Then the Irish defense last week was very, very good despite losing against Eastside Catholic as the run up the middle goes to Crocker. He only gets about 1, setting up a 2nd and 9. We see bright spots for them right there, but not too many of those. Can you walk us through maybe what happened on that play to help O'Day?
Something that I think that O'Day has been doing well to some extent is like their blocking. I think their blocking has been fairly well, but something that I feel like O'Day has to be working on is just these changes that have been made. I feel like they were too comfortable, I'd say.
And especially these high-tempo offenses like Ballard has here, as it's Crocker up the middle once more, getting down to the 5-yard line, setting up a 3rd and medium. These high-tempo offenses tend to hurt O'Day. The Irish were able to handle Seattle Prep fairly well, winning that one 35-13. But Eastside Catholic, who moderately slowed down, but the main deal was they started running the ball a lot. That they were not able to stop them. As they were actually, I apologize, they were able to stop them. Lake Stevens, they were not able to stop a very high tempo, definitely pass first offense. As it's Fraley once more in the gun, he gives to Crocker up the middle. Crocker able to get down to the 3-yard line, and that will set up a 4th down and 2. First down at the 1-yard line. It is not a 1st and goal, so it is possible for the Beavers to get a first down without scoring here. 4th down and 2 for Ballard. Fraley will give to Crocker once more. Crocker pushing. Will he get it? It is close. And it looks like the officials are saying he did not. So O'Day will take over at about the 2-yard line here. Great goal line stand there from the Irish. Not necessarily goal line, but close enough. Really came through when it mattered there on a 4th and short. They weren't able to stop Crocker all drive, but right there they showed something that they hadn't been able to do the rest of the drive. What do you think about that?
Something that definitely O'Day needs to be doing more. Like, I guess not doing more, but I guess people were expecting them to come out here tonight and being more fired up for this. O'Day's coming out of a loss 24-14 against Eastside Catholic last week, and I was expecting them to be marching down the field right now and stopping Ballard right now.
Yeah, you're right. They obviously had a tough loss last week against their rivals, as it looks like there are flags on the field. I say this so many times, and I'll continue to. We never want to make calls before the officials do. Right there, I think I saw 2 Ballard defensive linemen jump. We will wait for the official call from the man in the white hat, though, as it looks like I was right. They moved the ball 5 yards forward. It looks like it was an encroachment there, a neutral zone infraction, I'm sorry. So ball is not at the 2 anymore. It is at the 7-yard line, and that is where the O'Day will have 1st and 5. Turnovers last week on the O'Day offense is truly what killed them. I think that defense, despite the 24 points, the defense did not allow 24 points. That was offensive turnovers and mistakes that were really just unforced errors that hurt them for the most part. As it looks like we have a little bit of an issue on the field, but it is resolved quickly. Some notable inactives, like I talked about earlier, Asandre Afua, as well as Georgios Katsakis and Oliver Brach. Georgios Katsakis able to play the first quarter last night. However, the 2 linemen were unable to. It looks like another flag will be thrown. The O'Day sideline makes it sound like it is on Ballard, and indeed it is. We apologize for any volume issues we're having. We're trying to figure that out right now, but it looks like another penalty will hurt the Beavers 5 more yards, and that'll move the chains without the Irish having to call snap, really. So that'll set up a 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line now. Kohler under center, Holiday, and Brown in the backfield. Brown finds a small hole to run. He will get about 3, and that'll set up a 2nd down and 7. Jason Brown wasn't really able to do his thing last week as much as he wanted to. Getting downhill is something that lets him be successful, and he was able to one time on a 40-yard touchdown carry. But other than that, he really just wasn't able to get running downhill as much and just be able to move into that open space, which if he can do that this week, that will help them a lot. As up the middle, taking it is Khalil Holiday, a guy that the Irish started using at fullback versus Seattle Prep. And I like Kohler's idea of doing that. Khalil Holiday, number 29, is listed at 6 foot, 203 pounds. He is a bigger guy. He runs with that power of his 6'1" body frame, and that really helps him a lot on the ground, as well as playing that linebacker hybrid safety position. As it's Kohler will pitch here again to Brown once more. Brown finds room to run across the 30, now across the 40, 50. Defenders chasing him. Crocker not able to. 10, touchdown. Unfortunately, this one is coming back. It looks like a holding call on the Irish in the backfield. But that downhill running was certainly an example there. Able to get through a tiny hole and just explode out of nowhere. It was holding on O'Day, so this is coming back. The touchdown will not stand. And that'll set up a 2nd down and long here. Unfortunate for the Irish there. 3rd down and long. Unfortunate break for the Irish there. Really lucky on Ballard's part, though. Exactly what they wanted at this point in the game. But that touchdown run still happened. It just doesn't count as much. But now O'Day finds a weak spot in Ballard's defense. Can you talk us through, Luke, possibly what could have happened there as a breakdown on Ballard's defensive part?
Something that excuse me, sorry, we're having technical difficulties over here, but something that definitely could have been happening on Ballard's part is that they've been leaving open gaps, and they definitely have to be covering those and making sure that they can't let O'Day through. Because, I mean, granted, last week, O'Day's run game was not on point, so they had to have a lot of passing plays. And they're definitely more of a running team, and when they pass, proven last week, they definitely intercepted a lot. So they have to make sure that their run game is on point.
Yeah, especially with those big O-linemen, that O-line unit led by 6'7" senior Mark Naboo. Currently has plenty of D1 offers, not committed anywhere. As it's Kohler back to pass, he looks deep right side for Tucker Ashcraft, and it is incomplete. Threw it a little high, so with that, that'll set up a 4th down and 13, which will bring out the punt unit. Kohler dropped back to pass a lot last week. Did not have success, multiple interceptions, which you really never want to see. That kind of killed them that game. Although knowing John Kohler as a person, he will definitely want to bounce back as a player and do better this week, but he just has to put that behind him as is DiMalinta. He will punt it away here. Ball bounces up at the 41 and then takes a Ballard bounce at about the 45 where it will stick down. So Ballard will take over at the O'Day 45-yard line when we return. 4:23 left in the first quarter of play. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes.
And we are back live on YouTube tonight. I am Luke Hardy here with Jack Nolan, my bad.
Yes, Jack Nolan, not John Nolan. But the carry there by Crocker and unsuccessful, taken down at about the line of scrimmage. It looks like the refs will give him a yard, and that'll set up a 2nd and long. On that first drive, that was the Crocker show. Farley had some good passes to his receivers, especially like number 3, Jalen Edwards. A little bit of a smaller guy, he's a 5'8", 170-pound sophomore. But he was really effective in being able to move into open space in multiple occasions there. But Crocker was the guy they relied on the most in the backfield this time. It looks like they have a new back in. Refs will stop the play. Looks like possibly a mouth guard issue for the Irish, but we are right back with it immediately here. Dropping back is Farley. Throws right side. He's got his receiver. That's Edwards again. And he is wrapped up by Brendan Murphy after a gain of 6. And that will set up a third down and short here. Like I said, Edwards able to move into space very well. Effective route running there. Very clean cut. Able to get some separation from the 6'1" senior or 6'1" junior safety Brendan Murphy, a guy that really has been making plays all year long. But he still was able to wrap him up before he got the first down there. As it's Farley again, play action, looks screen right. He's got his receiver who will make a move. Not able to get too much, but enough for a Ballard first down as they will move the chains here. On the reception, looks like that was number 4, Alex Good, the 6'3", 220-pound junior. One thing I've noticed and I will say about Ballard's receiving core, they have a very diverse receiving core in their sizes and abilities with the receivers. I see number 2, Dominic Hayes out there, 5'9", sophomore, who he's a guy that has a lot of speed on his side, along with number 3, Jalen Edwards, guys that have a lot of speed and can get into open space, especially Edwards like we've seen so far. But number 2, Dominic Hayes, number 4, Alex Good, he is a guy that, as the pass is batted down by Mark Naboo there, Alex Good is a guy that he can go for those balls. He's much more of a Mike Evans receiver and less of a Tyreek Hill receiver as a bigger guy. However, they have in coverage not Trey Stokes, the 6'2" corner for O'Day, but 5'10" Kyan McDonald. Possibly size mismatch there, but I know Kyan McDonald's very effective versus bigger receivers. We saw that versus Prep when he had an interception versus a 6'5" tight end. As once more, it is Farley in the gun. 3 receivers left, two to his right. He gets the snap, drops back, feeling pressure. Now moves out to his right, throw on the run. He's got his receiver. That's Edwards once again, and that is a first down for Ballard. Great job there by Farley, being able to sense the pressure, break a tackle, move out of the pocket, and on the run, drop a very nice pass in the arms of Edwards.
Yeah, Ballard's offense has definitely been doing very well this game. Even though the score is 0-0, I would say it's safe to say that Ballard has been winning this game so far. They have been definitely doing a lot better than O'Day. They've been marching down the field, and they've been stopping their offense on defense. Ballard has been doing phenomenal as of right now. As
the run by Crocker goes right side, and he is taken down inside the 10 at the 7, and that'll set up a second down here in medium for the Beavers. Ballard is 2-4 right now, had some difficult losses, especially when I was able to witness against Garfield, 35-0. And I don't think that's being reflected as how they're playing right now. These guys are moving the ball very, very well and able to move into space incredibly well. As Crocker breaking some ankles as he dives in the end zone for a touchdown. Ballard getting on the board first, and Crocker being the driving force. I know he created some issues for O'Day last year in the Metro semifinal as well as in the regular season, but this year really able to create more issues on the ground as for the point after tries number 14, Grant Gerald, my apologies on names. Luke and I will be making some mistakes tonight, but we are going to correct ourselves as much as possible. And the kick up is up, and it is good. So 7-0 is the score with 1:21 left in the first quarter play. Hardy and I will be right back after this break, live on YouTube when action resumes. And we are right back here live on YouTube as it is the Irish back deep to return, specifically number 6, Jason Brown, as well as number 44, Christian Wynn on the returning and kicking off again. is number 14, Grant Gerald. And after that drive, really led by the running back, Sam Crocker, Luke, what do you think O'Day has to do to counter that in the future?
Something that O'Day has to be doing right now is, first of all, they can't be thinking about this. I mean, granted, they haven't been playing that well this first quarter, but they can't be remembering this. They got to come out here either this possession right now with a new attitude, and they got to make sure that their blocking is on point.
And that's Brown fielding at the 1-yard line. He finds room to run, and he is taken down after an incredible return of 35 yards. His heels were to the goal line in high school football. You are not allowed to field a kick in the end zone. That is an automatic touchback. But Brown right there really showing off his running back skills when he's able to get downhill as a runner. You can't stop him. And frankly, Ballard was lucky there to have a guy on the ground to trip Brown up and stop him from possibly going all the way. I would have loved to see, as an O'Day fan, a 100-yard kick return, but unfortunately will not have that, as it's Kohler at the 35-yard line. He will give to Holiday. Holiday finding some room to run up the middle, and he is still not taken down. I'm seeing a little Georgios Katsakis in that man, as he will move forward for the first O'Day first down of this game. Sorry, second first down, first off of a play that was run of the game, as the first down of the game was off of a 5-yard penalty from Ballard. That is something that the Beavers have overcome quickly. We haven't seen, except for those first two, any more laundry fly on their part, on either part for that matter. But it's Kohler here, nevertheless, at the 46-yard line. Once again, he'll pitch to Brown, right side. Brown finds some room to run, tries to make a cut up the middle. Doesn't find much room, but finds something. And he will get 3 on the carry up to the 49, and that'll set up a 2nd down and 7 here. Definitely not the result you want after that run, but we talk about this a lot. O'Day doesn't need huge runs coming out of the gate. They can easily afford these 3- and 4-yard carries early on in the game, because we know when O'Day's offensive linemen are operating at 90%, the Ballard defensive line is going to be operating at 50%, and that is when 6'7" Mark Naboo and 6'2" Keith Hendershot can just simply run over some of these over the front 7 for Ballard, and it looks like that will be the first quarter of play. 7-0 Ballard. However, O'Day is driving right now. We'll be right back here live on YouTube at the start of the second quarter. And we are back here live on YouTube, as it is O'Day with the ball. Currently down 7-0. However, they are moving the ball more effectively than they have so far in the game. It's Holiday and Brown in the backfield once more. Gallagher set to the right. To the left is Jackson. At tight end is Tucker Ashcraft once more. And it looks like Ballard will jump again. Possibly. We're going to wait for the official call. It could be a false start on O'Day, but it looks like some movement at the line of scrimmage. And it is on Ballard. 3rd penalty this game. I must have jinxed them. I'm sorry to the Beavers, but I just mentioned how it looks like they were able to get under control with that jumping off sides, and and I guess they haven't yet, obviously. But possibly when Kohler gets that, he says down and he says set. Possibly that is when these guys are jumping, thinking that they are automatically snapping the ball. And with that has cost them 15 yards to this point, as it's Kohler getting the Beavers to move once more. However, no flags will fly, as it's Brown up the middle, not able to get much. And that'll set up a 3rd down and 1 here for the Irish. Certainly not the worst case scenario to this point. However, that was not the most incredible run from Brown. Third down and 1 here from O'Day. 2 receivers to the left. Gallagher in the slot out wide. To the bottom of your screen is Jackson. Tucker Ashcraft to the top of your screen at tight end. The handoff to Brown. Brown finding a little room to run after making some moves. He will cut outside across the 30, down across the 20, inside the 10 before he is knocked out of bounds. And that'll be good enough for an O'Day first down. Incredible work there by Jason Brown, using that footwork that we are so familiar with and that we saw back in week 1 versus Union, and able to use that to 100% effectiveness right there.
Yeah, and even though the O'Day has a lot of players out this game, that still doesn't mean that they have a lot of valuable players that they have here. And Jason Brown is definitely a player that they want to have every game that he is available to be playing with right now.
And I would love to say that run was all Jason Brown, but some incredible work by the O'Day offensive line, especially number 50, right guard, Jamison Saxton, a guy that was able to make some effective blocks there to spring Brown looses. It's Brown once again cutting left side, and he will be tackled out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. And that will set up a second down and very short. If it is not a first and goal, we'll wait for the official call. The chains will drop, however, it is still second down and about 2 here. And that is the official call. We'll wait for everyone to get set before running the play. As we see a new face out there, number 34, Declan Brown, a guy that we'll see on the kickoff team frequently as the kicker. It looks like Kohler wants to run on the split back, but John Kohler, the quarterback, talking to the ref, doesn't like something that he sees. And we will wait for the official call. Looks like it will be second down. Split back formation here. Declan Brown to the right. To the left is Jason Brown out wide for the Irish. Joe Gallagher to the right. To the left is Lipscomb, as it is Declan Brown taking it in for O'Day. And that will get the Irish on the board here early on the 3-yard touchdown run from the fullback.
O'Day definitely came out this second quarter a lot different from the first quarter. This first quarter, they weren't really playing up to the regular standards, but now they're coming out here ready to come back and take over the lead against Ballard.
Yeah, and a really different O'Day team that we saw there than the first quarter. And if you're an Irish fan, you're happy about that because that's not what we saw originally. As the point after from DeSimone is up, and it is good. 7-7 is the score here after the first drive of the second quarter. 10:58 left. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes. And we are back here live on YouTube. 7-7 the score. O'Day after the 3-yard touchdown run from Declan Brown. Ready to kick it off. Once again, back deep to return for the Beavers. Number 1, Chance Staley, and I believe that's number 2 as well, Dominic Hayes. A sophomore and a senior back deep now. Both receivers. And it is DeSimone to kick it away once again for the Irish of O'Day. And hopefully this defense is hoping for a different result that they found than the last drive, but a similar one to the first drive when they were able to hold the Beavers on 4th and 2 from the 2-yard line. first down. There was a first down, however, it was very close to the goal line there. And it's DeSimone once again to kick it away. Ball fielded about the 8-yard line. Taking it back for Ballard, number 2, that's Hayes. And Hayes will be dropped at the 24-yard line. And that will be where Farley and the rest of the Beavers offense will set up shop for the first drive of the second quarter.
Ballard has been doing pretty well throughout this game, but they got to keep this up. They don't really have any room for errors. They can't be making mistakes every other play. If they want to be taking the lead against O'Day and getting ahead right now, they got to make sure that they have no room for error.
And you're absolutely right. Error, especially those unforced errors, is something that will hurt teams if they have them early on. As it's Farley back again in the gun, he will give to Crocker. Crocker driving a little bit more than I would have thought, and that sets up, instead of a second and very long, a second and a little shorter here, as it looks like he got 3 on the carry, which will leave him 7 yards to the first down line. Crocker, a senior, number 9, 5'11", 205 pounds, a solidly built guy, and I was seeing him warming up before the game, and he's a built guy. That is not fat. That is all muscle that he has, and especially in his legs, he's a very powerful runner, and that could pose as a threat later on for this O'Day defense. As it's Farley back again, he's got his man once again. That is Edwards who makes a move on Holiday and will be taken out of the 50-yard line, and flags will fly for a late hit on the Irish. It looks like Arujo there got a little excited, and that will add on another 10 after the big pickup on first down. And we apologize for any sound issues to this point. We are messing with some stuff, had some problems at the beginning of the game, and it looks like the flag will not be on O'Day. I apologize for that call. We will wait for the official call here, not totally sure what it was, but we're just working with what we got, trying to make changes as we go, as it looks like a 1st and 10 for Ballard. We'll wait for the official call, like we said. It is a 2nd down and about 5 here for the Beavers. In the gun is Farley once more. Crocker to his right. 2 receivers to his right, 2 to the left. And it's Crocker able to find some room, and that will set up a first down on the gain of 6. Checking into the game for the Irish, number 41, I believe. That's Sir Keenan Hart. Sir Keenan Hart, a really dominant JV running back, especially versus Blanchette, was able to make something out of nothing, which on this O'Day offense is very valuable if you're a running back, especially when you're a running back and not those big fullbacks who expect you to do that type of thing. And that looks like it's Crocker once more on the gain of 6, setting up a 2nd down and medium, as Janice Utu checks into the game for Dominic Scally, and that'll set up a 2nd and medium. This up-tempo offense is really what Ballard likes to this point, and it looks like just about everyone moved except for the center, and that will be 5 yards, I believe, on the Beavers. Yes, it will on the false start there. Penalties not helping Ballard particularly too much to this point. Luke, do you think that later in this game this could be a change in effect? I like to say that 100 yards of penalties is 7 points that you should add on the board that you could have had.
I 100% agree with you. And think about Ballard's first drive down the field. They were maybe 5 yards away from the end zone, and if they had any flags thrown at them, they would have been a few yards closer and most likely would have gotten that.
And is a fumble by Ballard from Farley. And the whistles never blew, as it is Sir Hart. Thought that the whistle blew, as well as one of the Ballard O linemen, both realizing that the whistle did not blow and that it was not deemed an incomplete pass. They both jumped on it. However, even though Day doesn't get to take over here, it is still a loss of yardage here for the Irish, setting up about a 3rd down and 20 from their own 27, 3rd and 19 from their own 27, 1st down at the 46. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Pass right side, incomplete, intended for Dominic Hayes, number 2, to the bottom of your screen, and that will set up a 4th and very long. I know if you're Coach Kohler, that is the worst type of play that you hate, that you want to see. You can, knowing him as a coach and as a person, it is one thing if you get beat in coverage and a receiver makes an incredible catch on you if you're a corner. That's one thing, but not playing through the whistle, I can imagine that is one of Kohler's biggest pet peeves and one of the worst things that he hates to see as a coach. As I agree, I think that I would much rather see my guys just get outplayed, as the punt is almost blocked, as it will go out at about the 35-yard line. But like I was saying, I would much rather see my corners just get beat by an incredible play by a receiver than just not go through the whistle or something like that that was preventable. As with that, the Irish will take over in fairly good field position. Luke, I think I had some flashbacks there to last week against Eastside Catholic when that Crusader offense just wasn't operating to as high of a level as that O'Day defense was doing. As right there you see the O'Day student section getting rowdy as ever. It's coming out to support the troops on a Thursday night, so that explains a little less numbers, but nevertheless, that student section will always come out to support their boys, as it is Brown who will get hit hard in the backfield and dropped after a loss of about half a yard. I heard that hit up here. Did you? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
That was an incredible hit. I believe that was credited to number 56 on the tackle, Peter Esterberg, the senior offensive lineman and defensive lineman there. And that will set up a 2nd down and 11 here for O'Day. Great job getting the backfield from Esterberg. And that is really just not what we want to see if you are the Irish, as it is Declan Brown at fullback with Jason Brown at the tailback. Play action here from Kohler. Rolling right, no receivers, and he looks up downfield. He's got Joe Gallagher. He has been silent for a few weeks, as we get another look at that here. A beautiful rollout pass finding Gallagher downfield on the sliding catch. Thanks to Graham Shirley taking videos on the sideline for that instant replay review. Great job there by Gallagher, creating separation from his man and able to slide into that catch. I really love Joe Gallagher as a receiver. He is a 6'1" senior, and he's a guy who can move into space very effectively, although he's got that intense speed as well, especially last year seeing these guys in workouts testing their top speed times. He was one of the most impressive guys out there, as it's Brown gaining a gain of 1, setting up a 2nd and long for O'Day. Now, Gallagher's just a guy that impresses time and time again and hasn't had an opportunity too much, especially since some of these defensive backs for Eastside Catholic and Seattle Prep have game planned against him. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 here. Kohler under center. To his left, he's got Lipscomb. To the right is Tyler Bugby in the backfield. It looks like that's Holiday and Brown. Pitch to Brown, right side. Brown finds some room to run before he is upended at the 37-yard line, and that will set up a 3rd down. I apologize, in about 2 or 3 here. And this kind of gives Kohler some options. I would say this is 4th down territory for the Irish here. Maybe moving it through the air again, or maybe just do your ground and pound. Luke, if you are Kohler, you were obviously not the head coach, but Luke, if you are Kohler, what is your plan here on 3rd and 3?
You see, we're close enough that we would be able to run it, but also O'Day is not necessarily a passing team.
And a great 1st down there. As you said, they can run it. They did run it. Khalil Holiday once again able to move the chains for an Irish first down as he is able to get inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line there on the run. I agree, O'Day is not a pass-first offense, but they can move it through the air, as we've seen with guys like Tucker Ashcraft, Joe G, as well as Sam Lipscomb and Sajay Jackson, guys that are receivers mainly for blocking purposes. However, they can move into some open space when they need to. As it's Kohler here. Ashcraft to his left at tight end. It's Holiday and Brown in the backfield. Brown finds some room left side. He gets across the 20, down inside the 10, breaks a tackle at the 5. Touchdown, Irish. Jason Brown doing his thing. As you can see on the beautiful replay there, able to get to the outside, make an incredible move, brushing these defenders off him like it is nothing, and getting in the end zone for 6.
Yeah, their run game is definitely what helps them out the most. They can definitely have a lot of good passes, but it's a fairly big risk for them because last week they had a lot of turnovers that definitely could have helped them out to some extent.
And you're absolutely right, Luke. Turnovers is what killed them that game. However, Kohler said, I think Kohler said a little bit, we can go back to our original run-first game plan and we'll still be just as effective as flat as laundry will fly. We will wait for the official call. It is a neutral zone infraction on Ballard, which will set up about a yard and a half closer of an extra point attempt. Not that the iron leg of DeSimone needs it, but helps a little bit, I guess. I'd take a yard and a half closer. Would you?
I mean, I definitely would.
Yard and a half is a yard and a half, and you never know what can happen.
I mean, I don't know why anyone wouldn't take that. I mean, that's just kind of a small little treat,
Yeah, a nice treat for Severia. I know he is. I see him out there warming up before the game, and it looks like no penalty will be called. A little bit of some sort of issue. And here's DeSimone for the kick. You get a nice on-field view here. Thanks to Graham Shirley once more. And the kick is up and good on the line drive kick. With that, 14-7 your score. O'Day taking their first lead of the game. 4:58 left in the first half of play. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes.
And we are live back on YouTube tonight. I am Luke Hardy, joined with Jack Nolan here watching O'Day Irish go up against the Ballard Beavers.
And right now, 14-7 the score after the very nice touchdown run from Jason Brown. Really, I haven't seen in a few weeks. That's the first time in a few weeks, I would say. Actually, I take that back. Last week he had one of those incredible runs as well. But Jason Brown, a guy that can kind of come out of nowhere and just score with these 40-yard touchdown runs when he gets the slightest gap. And right now, Ballard's faced that twice. Luckily for them, one of those touchdowns was called back due to a holding call. But they just can't give Jason Brown space on the edge because that man has wheels. And I'm sorry, that man will beat you. Don't think you are faster than Jason Brown. As the kick is fumbled at about the 25 and jumped on at the 22-yard line by number 22. That's Sam Cox, the 5'9", 150-pound junior. And that is where Beavers will take over first down and 10 once more. And Ballard last drive was ineffective, had to punt it away. On the first and second drive, though, they were moving the ball pretty well. What do you think? I know Joe Cronin, the defensive coordinator for the Irish, he obviously found something to stop him. Do you think that the Beavers are going to game plan against what Corona found to stop them, or do you think they're just going to keep on trying what they've been doing?
You see, it's still pretty early on in the game, or I guess it's closer to the middle of the game. They still have a lot of time to adjust their play style throughout this game. They'll probably go with what they've been doing, trying to work around that, but if that does not work out for them, then I could see them switching it up later on throughout this game.
I think you're absolutely right. I think right now you just got to stick with go with what you were saying, and later on if you need to make adjustments, you do that, as it looks like the chains were not set quite correctly, and that will set it. Rest making sure we're all set to perfection before we get this play underway. It's Farley back in the gun again. He'll give it to Crocker once more. Crocker breaks a tackle before getting smothered by 3 O'Day defenders. It looks like that was Tyler Bugby, as well as Kyan McDonald and Mark Naboo on the tackle. I've talked about Mark Naboo a lot to this point on the offensive side, but he's a defensive lineman as well. Use that big size to get over some of these offensive linemen. He already has 1 block pass to this point and probably will have more this game, as over the middle, Farley looking for his receiver. I think that was number 6, Noam Cohen, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it is Cohen. And that'll set up a 3rd down and medium here. That would have been a big hitter over the middle. Unfortunately, just not able to come up with the catch there. And that'll set up a 3rd down and 5 for Farley here. As you can hear, the O'Day student section getting into it, getting into their groove, getting rowdy as ever. Dropping back, looks to throw, looks right side now over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Almost intercepted. Newsom was not quite able to come up with it, and that'll set up a 4th down and 5 as the punt unit comes on.
Something that Ballard's offense should likely improve on later on throughout this season is their running game. Their running game it's been all right, but it's been to the point where they need to mix it between passing and running. And when they pass it in these past 2 plays, it hasn't gone their way for them. They dropped it with an open path to the end zone right there. And so when that happens, they have to be making sure that it works out for them.
And no fake punt will be called, as back deep to return is Kyan McDonald. He will take it off of a bounce and throws down a Ballard defender, Derrick Henry style, before getting to the 35-yard line. Flags will fly. Kyan McDonald staying at a slightly bigger version of his older brother Hayden, now a freshman cornerback at Columbia. Kyan, though, stands at 5'10", 160 pounds, absolutely just threw the defender to the ground. Very impressive from the sophomore. I've only seen good things from him all year so far. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on, it looks like, McDonald. Unnecessary roughness or not, holy cow. I mean, that is truly, I would love to see that play and Derrick Henry stiff-arming Josh Norman right next to each other, because I don't see too much of a difference besides uniforms there. Incredible work by the sophomore corner, who's already made his presence known on the field so far this season. Brown going up the middle, taking it for about a gain of 8 there, and that'll set up a 2nd and short.
And O'Day getting ready for another snap. Seems like it was fumbled by Jason Brown, but he falls back onto it around the 10-yard line.
And Jason Brown there, a lucky break for the Irish. I know if he was a second later, I saw big number 70 for the Beavers, Finn Erickson, ready to scoop that baby up just like Michael Dixon did last Thursday night and just walk into the end zone for 6. As it is a 3rd and very long, I don't want to say very long, but 3rd and 14 for the Irish here. I could easily see a play action directed towards Tucker Ashcraft or Joe Gallagher. However, Jackson is at the bottom of your screen, and in the backfield in the split back formation is Holiday as well as Brown. Kohler will look to pass first, then gives to his back. That's Brown, who gets about 4 or 5, setting up a 4th down and 10 here as the punt unit will come on for O'Day. Human Conley coming out to kick this one. Refs signaling for the clock to stop. They will stop the clock here with 2:29 left in the first half of play. We will get the clock set as soon as possible. It looks like an official's timeout was called. With that, we will be right back live here on YouTube in 30 seconds. And 30 seconds. I think I was in the ballpark with 30 seconds there.
Yeah, you were close enough.
I was close enough, and that's all I needed. Hugh McConley back to punt this one away, staying about the 46-yard line for Ballard. I believe that is number 2, Dominic Hayes, or number 1, Chance Stanley. McConley kicks this one away, the left-footed punter, and that will bounce at about the 44 and take an O'Day roll to about the 47, where it will be downed by the incredible long snapper, Brady McHugh himself. And that is where this Ballard offense will try to punch it in before the end of the half. And O'Day will look to stop him here. A guy that I want to have a little bit of a rant about, I will admit. Kyan McDonald at the bottom of your screen, number 4. A guy that has continuously made plays all year long. I believe he leads this team with interceptions, likely closely followed by Brendan Murphy, of course. But a guy, they don't look his way often, as they won't there. And it's Trey Stokes looking to make the play. Unfortunately, he will just get the incompletion, but a nice job there anyway to break that one up, especially since he had his receiver going for the ball. Nice throw by Farley, though. He has shown time and time again he's not a deep ball thrower, but he's an accurate thrower within 20 yards of him releasing the ball. But like I was saying there, Kyan McDonald, he's not being targeted much, if at all, this game so far. I believe he's covering number 2 there, Dominic Hayes, as it's Crocker will take it up the middle again, taking it for about a gain of 2 or 3 down to the 43, and that'll set up a 2nd down and 7 for the Beavers. And coming in, and what I like that Kohler's been doing, I don't know if you noticed this, Luke, but Kohler has been using a plethora of O'Day defensive line. Right now, the 4 in are Zach Proctor, Mark Naboo, Janias Utu, and Anthony Hall. But guys like Dominic Scally, as well as Christopher St. Louis and others, are also coming in and making their presence felt on that O'Day defensive line. As you can hear, it is 3rd down here for the Beavers. Pass right side is caught. However, number 6, Noam Cohen, is wrapped up shortly after the catch, maybe getting one, and that'll set up a 4th down. However, it looks like they will keep the offense out there. Yes, they will. Ballard will stay out on 4th down. About a minute 15 now before a timeout is taken, I believe, by O'Day. We'll see officially here. Wait for the man in the white hat to make the call. And the officials will get together to talk about this. And going into halftime, Luke, obviously this is a point where something could happen and we could have a completely different score going at halftime. We can always. But to this point, the scoreboard says O'Day. but I've been seeing enough dominant play on both sides. To be fair, mainly in the first quarter from Ballard, and mainly second quarter being run by O'Day. But who do you think really has the upper hand in this one, right, as of right now?
Right now, I would say it's pretty evened out. With Ballard going for it on fourth down, this play is very big for both teams. It could either go one of two ways, and we all probably know what those two ways could be. But right now, it's hard to tell who would come out on top. Both teams have been playing around the same level. They've each had some really good plays throughout this game, and they've had some they've had plays that needed improvement, I should say. I'm not going to say bad, but they've needed to improve on some parts of their play style today.
I think you're absolutely right. Going into this game, both teams had an idea of what they wanted to do, and really both of these teams have needed to work around that because of defensive coordinators making good calls to stop those offensive that offensive work. I know that right now, dropping back for Farley. That pass is almost intercepted. Kyan McDonald, he does not drop many of those, and he almost had it, but nevertheless, it is a turnover on downs for the Beavers. I know Kohler talking to the refs, making sure the clock was set to the right spot. Minute 24 left in the half right now, as opposed to possibly a minute 5, minute 10. Every second matters at this point. They have about around 60 yards to go to punch this one in for 6, and I know that is Kohler's mindset right now. I just want to get more points on the board. However, we know that the leg of DeSimone can hit from long distance. So it's Kohler under center. He will give to Brown, left side. Brown has room across the 50. He is tackled and will get out of bounds at the 42, and that will set up an Irish first down. That is exactly the type of play that this Irish offense needs. I know they can't run it too much, but that halfback misdirection that Kohler and Brown love to run, it works. It works. They got the Ballard defense going one way, and Brown just simply cuts the other direction and finds a wide open field for himself to be able to move and get a first down.
Yeah, and even though Brown and Kohler both play significant parts on those run plays, the people that definitely need to be helping out is the O-line for sure.
And I don't think I will always say this, O-linemen, no matter what, will never get enough credit for the job they do. They are the ones that set up the runs for these running backs. They set up they protect that, that kind of little brother mentality is what they have of the quarterback back in the pocket. They want that quarterback's uniform, in this case Kohler's uniform, to look clean at the end of the game. And that kind of thing, it really shows, especially guys like Mark Naboo, Keith Hendershot, Janias Utu. Those guys, they are very, very effective in what they do and really just play at the highest level that they can. However, this Ballard defensive line has shown multiple times that they are able to make differences in their game plan.
Yeah, definitely. And with O'Day's O-line, they need to rely on them a lot. Even though that they have valuable players such as Jason Brown and John Kohler, they still need to make sure that their O-line is on point. Because I've noticed that throughout this whole season, Jason Brown and John Kohler will have a really good play, but the O-line might have messed something up, so it altered the expectation of what the play was supposed to be.
I don't want to go out too far here, but I would say the offensive line could be considered one of the most important parts of the play for it to be successful. As it's Joe Gallagher across the middle again, getting about a gain of 20 there, and that will be an Irish first down at the 20-yard line. Clock will stop momentarily while the chains are getting set, but it will run once again. Incredible throw and catch there from John Kohler to Joe G, and that was able to work to perfection, I'd say. Joe Gallagher making 2 plays so far this half, as it's Brown. He will get close. Will he get in? No, they will say he's down at the 1-yard line. However, that sets up a great spot for this O'Day offense to be able to get in possibly on this next play. This O'Day team is driving exactly how they wanted to in this drive so far. Right now, Kohler has Brown to his left. Halliday to his right. I can easily see a QB sneak here. Was I right or was I right? As Kohler sneaks it in for 6 more for an O'Day touchdown. And that will bring out DeSimone once more for the PAT unit to try to put one more on the board. 20-0. 27. The score right now, hopefully 21-7 here soon enough. Going into half, I'd be pretty happy if I'm Kohler. You know, your offense is doing what you want to this point, and your defense, they had a little bit of struggles on those first two drives, but they have been able to figure themselves out. They've been able to figure Garfield out as well and play to the level that I know that they want to.
Yeah, definitely. And this is exactly how O'Day wants to end this half. End it off well with a touchdown and going into the locker room getting ready to prepare for the second half upcoming.
And the point after from Severio DeSimone. Kick is good. The snap is good, hold is good, and kick is a little too good as that ball was kicked back into the construction site. Way back there on the line drive, extra point kick back into the construction site. However, that ball looks like it will be found. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes. We are back here live on YouTube, getting ready to wrap up this first half of play. O'Day up 21-7. After that, 1-yard QB sneak from John Kohler. I don't want to say it's been the Jason Brown show to this far. I will say he's been a big part of the show. But guys like Joe Gallagher, as well as Khalil Holiday and Declan Brown, have made an effect in this game, played an effect in this game so far. As well as this defense, really being able to figure out the Ballard offense after those first two drives did not want to go as they wanted to. As back deep to return, it looks like that's Hayes up the middle. Finds a little room to run. However, he will be stopped at about the 30-yard line for an okay return. And that'll be where the Beavers take over for first down and 10 here, hoping to get something more on the board before half maybe, or possibly just taking a simple knee here. We will see. However, what I've seen so far from Ballard does not really symbolize a knee taking offense at the end of the half, as it looks like they will not. Farley back in the gun. Crocker to his right, two receivers to either side. Farley will give to Crocker, who gets about 3. The clock will continue to run. And a timeout will be called by the Beavers, possibly looking for O'Day to expect the pass and go with the run. O'Day to expect the pass, and Ballard goes to the run. We will just have to see O'Day taking a timeout with that. But in this first half, Luke, who do you think has really which defense do you think has to adjust more in the second half? Obviously, we've seen O'Day's defense take adjustments, but do you think they're going to have to make other adjustments in the second half through possible changes from the Ballard offense, or do you think it's going to be Ballard who's going to have to adjust more?
So I think that O'Day, for the most part, has been playing fairly well, and I think that their play style right now has been really good. It really all just depends on what Ballard has to bring to the second half. I mean, they started out this game doing pretty well, and then throughout the second quarter, they've kind of died down a little bit. They haven't really been playing as what they've been doing before, so it depends on what Ballard comes back with.
And 13 seconds left here in the first half of action. In the gun is Farley. He has 4 receivers to his right, 1 to the left, drops back, looks to throw over the middle. Incomplete. Flags will fly. It looks like that's going to be pass interference. It looked clean from up here, but the refs saw something else, and the refs are always right. So that will move the Beavers into a little more comfortable field position. However, with 9 seconds left, it doesn't help them too much. It is pass interference on Sir Hart. And that will move the Beavers. That will give them a fresh set of downs, as well as put them at about the 48-yard line. Their own 48. Still have 52 yards to go. However, 9 seconds. Like I said, anything can happen. You never know. Especially in a situation like this. Back deep is Khalil Holiday and Tyler Bugby. In coverage, though, is McDonald, Newsome, Hart, Bugby, Holiday, Stokes, and Murphy. Farley breaks away from some pressure, dumps it off to his receiver over the middle, and the clock will stop with 2 seconds left. On the reception there is Jack McLaughlin, the senior receiver, number 18. Nice job there from Farley, breaking away from some O'Day pressure and able to find a safety outlet. He obviously doesn't have a ton of passing yards this game. I take that back. He's a fair amount. They move the ball through the air effectively, not just with Crocker on the ground. But even though Farley hasn't had, an incredible, out of nowhere outstanding game, week 1 James Winston game, he has had a good enough game to this point where he's been able to make some nice moves, make some magic happen in the pocket. Just stuff like that, especially on the last play we saw there. He was able to step up, break away from a few tackles, and dump it off to his receiver over the middle for a gain of a few yards. 2 seconds left in the first half of play. I think there's 7 defensive backs in coverage, including Newsome and Hart. Not sure where Camacho is. We'll get a report as soon as possible on him. And Farley goes down. And that will do it for the first half of action. We will be right back here live on YouTube at the start of the second half. And we are back here from half live on YouTube. 21-7 is the score right now. O'Day on top. However, the Ballard Beavers, led by Jake Farley and Sam Crocker, certainly showing that they are not out of this game yet. We will see how this one turns out in this second half of play. Kick is about underway from kicker number 27. That's Reese Allensworth. I'm sorry.
I believe that is number 14.
That is number 14. Grant Gerald on the kick. Back deep to return for the Irish, number 29, Khalil Holiday, as well as number 6, Jason Brown. Gerald about to get this one away. And just like that, we are back from half as Holiday fields it, not so cleanly at the 15. Holiday finds some room to run, makes a move, powering through across the 30 to about the 36, and that is where Kohler and the Irish offense will take over for the first drive of this half. In the first half, O'Day really kind of, I don't want to say struggled in the first quarter, but they weren't able to move the ball as proficiently as I know they would have wanted to. In the second half, they were able to completely take over, have had 3 unanswered touchdowns to this point. A JB touchdown run, a Declan Brown touchdown run, and a John Kohler QB sneak that I don't want to be too cocky, but I believe I called that one. Here's John Kohler under center. In the backfield is Brady McHugh as well as Jason Brown. Jason Brown making a nice move at the 36. He makes his way up close to the 40 at the 39, and that will set up a second and medium here as the clock will run. And that is a big thing that Ballard, I don't want to say this too early, but I think that Ballard, they can't really let O'Day run the clock too much. They kind of want them to stop that clock as much as possible because they know O'Day will let those minutes creep away from them without them knowing, because they like that ground and pound offense so often without the air attack that we did see in the first half a fair amount. However, it was not super consistent. As here's Kohler again on the misdirection once again. This time Ballard comes prepared and has figured it out. Jason Brown will be taken down. It looks like he's hurt a little bit, however, getting up on his own will.
Looks to be a slight knee cramp, but nothing that a little stretching can't fix. And going back to what you were saying earlier, O'Day definitely is a team that likes to just run the ball repeatedly and just chew up that clock. I have seen them chew up an entire quarter in one drive. I mean, if you want O'Day to keep the ball and you want them to just drive and play safe, then this is a team for you.
And it
Some
looks
motion
like,
there by Mark Naboo.
and it looks like people will jump on both sides. I remember earlier, especially on the first 2 offensive plays of the game for O'Day, the Beavers defensive line jumped 2 times in a row. Right there, jumping is Mark Naboo, and as well as the Beavers defensive line jumping on both sides. However, when the offense jumps, that means it's on that offensive side of the ball, going back 5 yards. However, 3rd down and 9 is not the worst thing ever for the Irish. Obviously not ideal, obviously much less ideal than a 3rd down and 4. However, we've seen the Irish work at a much worse. Kohler in the pistol here with Brown as well as Kerr. Kohler finds some room to scramble forward, and he will be tackled forward to about the 38-yard line, and that will bring out the punt unit for the first time this half. And that there was not a drive that O'Day wanted to have happen. It's not really super convenient for them. However, it is early in this half. They are still up 2 touchdowns, and they were able to take off 2.5 minutes off the clock before being able to punt this away. The long snapper here, Brady McHugh, Evan DiMolenta ready to kick this one away. Back deep to return is Chance Staley. Mishandled snap. Here's DiMolenta trying to kick this one away. He throws it forwards, and it looks like they will call it an incomplete pass, possibly on the broken play. Refs calling for a stoppage of time, and I know that wouldn't be off of a fumble because he stopped the clock before the ball went out of bounds. Refs will discuss it. They're the officials. They make the official call. So
these plays are just, especially punt plays, you have to get it right because the punter's the only one back there, and he's the only one looking around. And if something goes wrong, it goes over the punter's head. So most of the time, he doesn't have enough time to recover that before defense is on top of him. It's very fortunate Evans got quick hands and quick reaction time. He's able to get that and get the ball at least possibly to the line of scrimmage. You see what the ref has to say about that. You know, that play could have ended much worse. It could have ended in Ballard having the ball at the 10-yard line. It could have ended with a Ballard touchdown. You know, these plays, it's just so important that you get the snap right to the punter or the quarterback or the kicker.
And Ballard getting the ball in the red zone after the mishandled snap there. It was an intentional grounding call on DiMolenta. No receiver was in the real area. He also wasn't not able to get the ball to the line of scrimmage. Here's Farley with Crocker to his left. One receiver to his right, two to the left, tight end set up on the right side. Crocker will take it, makes a move up the middle, unable to get too much. However, it looks like he will get 3, setting up a 2nd down and 7. Those are the type of runs that Crocker's had all night, really, in the first half. Not really too impressive. In the first quarter, they were more impressive. They were going for 7, 8 yards. Now they're being limited to about 3 to maybe 5 at most, which you can't complain about too much. Having 3 yards per play will get you a first down every time. That is 12 yards over 4 plays, which is more than 10 and more than is needed for a first down, obviously. As Crocker will take it once more, another one of those 2 3-yard carries that he's been getting. But showing the yards per carry that has been decreasing for Crocker is not what he wants right now. He wants to be able to break away with those carries, and we know he can once in a while. However, seeing those numbers decrease will hurt because we know they will continue to decrease as the receiver left side gets the screen, makes a nice move. That was number 18 on the catch, Jack McLaughlin, and he'll make a nice move to about the 14-yard line, and that'll bring up a 4th down and medium. Nice job by the Irish to get that man down. I believe that was Zach Proctor on the tackle, and that'll set up a 4th and medium there as those jukes were not able to get enough. However, the Beavers will stay out on 4th down. Farley with Crocker to his right, Tripp's right, receiver in motion going left. Farley has 2 receivers to either side now. He will drop back, looks to throw over the middle, incomplete, intended for number 2. That's Dominic Hayes on the play there. However, just a barely misfire. With that, 7:46 left in the 3rd quarter. Play. We'll be right back here live on YouTube in 30 seconds when action resumes. And we are back here live on YouTube. I would say close enough to 30 seconds there, as it is John Kohler under center with a little bit of a uniform issue with Jason Brown possibly on his knee pad there. It looks like Kohler's going to go help him out, as it's Kohler in the infamous split back formation with Ashcraft lined up at tight end to the right. To the bottom of your screen is Gallagher to the top. His lips coming. It's Brown taking up the middle, trying to find some room to run. He will across the 20, 30. Now makes move to 40, 50. He's outrunning everyone. 40 down to the 30, inside the red zone. 10, touchdown! Irish Jason Brown outrunning all 11 of the Ballard defense there. Incredible work from the sophomore running back JB, doing the JB thing. I would love to say that was all JB, and about 90% of it was outrunning that entire Ballard secondary with that electric speed. However, great work from that offensive line, setting up a nice hole for him to be able to just break through and obliterate the rest of that Ballard defense there. As you can hear, the student section catch me a little off guard with their chants, rowdy as ever, making sure that that the O'Day defense knows that they are there to support them no matter what. Here's DeSimone on the point after try, and he will continue to be perfect. 4 for 4 on the night. 28-7, your score. 7:31 left in the 3rd quarter of play. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes.
We are now back after that electric play by sophomore running back number 6, Jason Brown, reminding everyone, especially Ballard, why running back is such an important position and why he is so good at running back. There are so many of these plays where Jason Brown can just find a hole and just run away with it. That play proving it, getting upwards of 90 yards on that big touchdown run, being able to elude the entire defense.
And with that, that is Severo DeSimone ready to kick this one away. Back deep to return for the Ballard Beavers here is number 1 Chance Staley and number 2 Dominic Hayes. The 2 return men to this point so far. Nothing yet. However, a big play is due to this point. We know that they can cause some damage. Here's Staley trying to find some room to run, unable to, and he is taken down by two kickoff team guys, Zach Newsom as well as Tyler Bugby, limiting him to only a gain of about 18 on the return there. Nice job. I'm sorry, that was not Tyler Bugby. That was, I believe that was Davis Downer. My apologies on the name there, and that is where the Beavers will take over. Not super ideal field position, however, not awful. Definitely not an inconvenience, about average. That's a 20-yard line is where a touchback is in high school football. So you can't complain too much if you're the Beavers. However, it would be nice to have something a little farther downfield. It's Farley taking the ball for about a gain of 6, and that'll set up a second and medium. I think that's one of the longest plays in the second half so far. As you can see, this Ballard team with that up-tempo pass first offense they love to run with. They are catching the Irish defense off guard a little bit. Luckily, the ref there was able to slow the game down for that defense. And that's Farley again taking it forward for about a gain of 3.5 to 4. We'll see if they move the chains. They have not signaled anything yet. And it looks like they will mark it a little short. And it is 3rd down and inches. I don't even want to say inches at this point. I think that's about 3rd and an inch. And maybe it is a little more. We're splitting hairs at this point. 3rd down and very short, as it looks like
a little longer.
It looks like flags will fly. False start on the Beavers, and that will give the Irish a little more room to breathe here on 3rd down. Penalties so far, there haven't been many pass interference or intentional fouls or anything like that. I believe there was a pass interference on O'Day and 2 fouls on O'Day and 1 on Ballard that wasn't at the line of scrimmage. But other than that, though, Ballard has really suffered with false start and offside, as well as encroachment and neutral zone infraction penalties. And Frarley is taken down in the backfield. That is Anthony Hall, joined by Khalil Holiday, as well as Mark Naboo and the other members of that O'Day defensive line, setting up about a 4th down and 15 here, sending on the punt unit. That's once again Grant Gerald, number 14, on to kick this one away. Back deep to return for O'Day is personally my favorite cornerback to this point today. I believe he's had the best performance. I don't want to say he's my favorite, but he's had my favorite performance today. Kyan McDonald getting ready to return. Ball out of bounds about the 46, and it will get back in midair. With that, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back here live on YouTube when action resumes. And we are back here live on YouTube. 5:23 left in the 3rd quarter of play. Here's Kohler under center. I formation. 2 receivers to his right. Fake to Brown. Looks deep. He's got Tyler Bugby open at the 20-yard line. Inside the 10 is where Bugby will be taken down. And that is an Irish 1st down. John Kohler, what a night he's having. Putting that ball in a great spot multiple times tonight with Joe Gallagher, and this time Tyler Bugby incredible work from Kohler, bouncing back after a subpar performance last week and having a great one tonight. I believe he's only missed one pass so far to this point. Coach Monty Kohler is obviously showing trust in John Kohler and his arm strength abilities as well on the deep ball there. Here's Kohler under center in the eye. Pitches right side to Brown. Brown finds a hole to run through. He's tripped up and tackled down. They will mark him short at the 1 yard line. Jason Brown hopping up quickly. Thought he was maybe a little hurt at first. Does not look like it. However, they will still sub him out, possibly a little bit of a cramp beaten up. That was a hit where he's taken down a little awkwardly. However, we know he's in the great hands of trainers Mr. Walters and Mr. Horton here, as Declan Brown will sub into the game for O'Day. At this point, Kohler getting the huddle ready to get together. A receiver to either side. It's Bugby at the bottom of your screen. Jackson to the top. Tucker Ashcraft at tight end. Kohler will keep it himself once more. Will he get in? No call yet, and he will get in. Touchdown, Irish. That is Kohler's second touchdown of the night on the ground. Incredible work from this Irish offense, going up 34-0. 34-7, I'm sorry, I keep making that mistake. 34-7 is the score. DeSimone, I don't want to jinx it. I know I have in the past with him, but he is perfect and looks to remain perfect here as he goes on for the point after at this point. And it looks like Ballard will go with a little bit different of a kick block formation. No one back deep. And snap is good, hold is even better, and the kick is perfect. 35-7 your score, 4:07 left in the third quarter play. We're right back here live on YouTube when action resumes.
And we are back live on YouTube here at Memorial Stadium watching O'Day Fighting Irish go up against the Ballard Beavers with a score of 35-7. And O'Day kicks it off to Ballard, and they receive it about in their 5-yard line. And it is taken down around the 22 to 23-yard line.
Yes. You know, the thing is, O'Day is really a second half team. All the big scoring happens in the second half. We've seen it multiple times this year. O'Day sometimes keeps it close to the first half of the game, but then in the second half they really, really pull away. We've seen this against Union, we've seen it against Seattle Prep, and now we've seen it against Ballard. O'Day is definitely a second half team. Must be some sort of big halftime speech that Coach Kohler gives to all the players as hand it off to the halfback. Get a good run on that play. That'll be number 6. Noam Cohen.
But yeah, back to what you were saying, Riley, about O'Day being a second half team. I 100% agree. We've had multiple showings throughout the season that show that O'Day definitely prevails around the second half. And it is Ballard taking it up, but they will be taken down with roughly maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain maybe. Or will they move the... Yes, they will. It is a first down for the Ballard Beavers. But yeah, anyways, O'Day has definitely been more of a second half team throughout this season. Like Riley was saying, they've had many appearances where it's been close in the first half, but then they've spread the score out a little bit throughout the second half.
And it's just that methodical moving down the field by another big play by the tailback. He is really trying to make a name for himself and for Ballard here. But anyway, back to what I was saying. O'Day is just they methodically move down the field every time during the second half and just continue to score. It's not typically big passing plays, but it's typically just a 10-yard gain, 10-yard gain, 10-yard gain, and all of a sudden they're at the end zone, it's a touchdown. And O'Day just can really rack that score up. And before you know it, it's a big lead. And botch snap, recovered by O'Day. The ball is it's going all the way back. Touchdown by number 16, Jericho Ishmael, the sophomore. That's a big play, a botch snap, and it's brought all the way back, making the score 41-7. O'Day on top.
This is exactly what O'Day does in the second half, Riley. You're 100% correct about them being a second half team, and this just shows it. They've had a lot of great plays just throughout this quarter alone. Throughout this whole game, they've been on and off. They've had good plays, and they've had plays that needed improvement. But when halftime came around, and when they came back out, they were definitely more ready and prepared for this. And we'll send it off to Jack Nolan, who's on sideline cam right now, as O'Day gets ready to kick it.
Severio DeSimone had a pretty good clicking right. Seems to be wander on the field as the officials saw something they did not like. We'll have to see what the ref has to say about that. But the touchdown will still stand. Obviously, O'Day is a team that is known to just capitalize on every single play. If you make a mistake, guarantee O'Day will be on top of that. And that time they were. Jericho Ishmael, sophomore, number 16, recovering that ball and running it all the way back for an O'Day touchdown.
Yeah, and Riley, about what you were saying earlier about O'Day relying a lot on their run plays, that definitely is true because O'Day is 100% a running team. They can pass the ball, but for O'Day, it's typically to some extent a risk that some people might be able to call it, because what O'Day does really well is they're able to block and get through the gaps that are open on the line. But passing, they need to be very focused, and they need to make sure that it is going to go exactly where it has to go. And they're redoing the field goal right now.
See, DeSimone up, and Severio keeps a good record for tonight. O'Day 42, Ballard 7, as this game starts to get a little out of hand, as the student section is absolutely ecstatic right now. One thing that defines O'Day is just the number of fans and students that show up to every game. It is just memorable. Every year there's a couple students that show up. This year it's Richard Barkley, Joe Githens, some of the normal suspects. I've seen them at every single game. Looking down there, I can also see Zach Berta, Andrew Kleppel, who like myself came from a cross-country meet. So they're obviously dedicated to showing up and supporting the team. What do you have to say about the fans, Luke?
They definitely come here to watch O'Day put on a show, and luckily tonight that is exactly what they have been doing. They have started out this game decently, but they've improved throughout the duration of this game. Each quarter they've increasingly got better, and if they can keep this up throughout the fourth quarter, it'll definitely be good for them.
As it looks like the theme is tropical tonight, as appears to be Gino Morella is now hyping up the crowd, as number 94, Keegan Fox, is getting a shot at the kickoff now. One thing about today is they do have a good number of kickers. I mean, they've got Severio, they've got Keegan, they've got Trey Hale, the sophomore. For punters, they've got Hugh McCauley and Evan DiMolanta. So they're able to substitute through a lot of these guys, and all of them are very good. They practice very hard, I know, and work very hard to improve their abilities. As that that recovery is a little shaky, brought down at about the 27-yard line by Tyler Bugby.
And Ballard is coming up right now, getting ready to snap the ball near the end of the third quarter, hoping to be able to bring the ball all the way to their end zone with not having the best performance tonight.
No, Ballard in the first half was there, and I will give it to them. They have played very tough, and the offensive line, definitely not the biggest guys, but they've been playing very hard against our defensive line. They've been playing a very, very tough team. Ballard, the offensive line and the running back just simply can't do all the work. The defense has to do their job as well, and our O'Day defense has just been working, and the Ballard team has just not been getting the rest they need. As that ball almost intercepted by number 38, Brendan Murphy. That could have been very problematic, and that could have made the score 49-7 very quickly. It seems whistles are blown, and Launders on the field. Stripes saw something he did not like, and we'll see what his call is momentarily. One thing for Ballard, their defensive line has just had a lot of jumping. It looks like this penalty is on O'Day. Couldn't quite see the call there, but it will be a penalty on O'Day. It appears to be first down for Ballard. Here's Ballard has just been running with their main running back, number 6, Noam Cohen, quite often. I think that guy is just got to be real exhausted by now. The running back has got to be one of the most tiresome positions, as they're substituted most often. As it takes it back, dropping back to pass, throws it up, as the ball is almost intercepted by Trey Stokes. Oh, very close to going the other way.
And that's definitely something that Ballard has to be sure not to do. They're in too big of a hole right now that they can't afford to make any error. They have no room for this. They have to make sure that if they're going to pass the ball, they have to be 100% sure that their quarterback is ready and that their receivers are ready to catch this. They cannot afford to intercept the ball right now as they are getting ready to snap at about their 46 or 47 yard line right now.
The interceptions just can be the most dangerous things at times. As ball's handed off again as it stops at the 50-yard line. Deepest apologies. I've been calling the running back number 6 Noam Cohen, but it's actually been number 9 Sam Crocker. That is my apologies. The jersey from here looks like a 6. I am now looking at it. It is definitely a 9. That is my bad. So know that the running back is Sam Crocker. But anyway, the interceptions can be so dangerous at times.
And yeah, back to the interceptions. I mean, look at O'Day's game last week with about 8 interceptions against Eastside Catholic, which definitely could have helped them out if they had just made sure that they had the ball covered. And it seems that Ballard is going to pass it and get it about to the O'Day's 46-yard line on 4th down. Riley, do you think that Ballard will go for it, or do you think that they're going to kick it off?
Well,
right now?
normally I think a team would try and punt the ball to put the other team back, but Ballard has been continually going for it, no matter how far it's been back. Even in their own red zone, I've seen them trying to go for it. I don't understand it, but it appears they are going for it yet again. So I don't know why. As the ball is tipped away by number 4, Kyan McDonald. Kyan McDonald had an explosive game last week and had a very important pick 6 against Eastside Catholic.
Yeah, and Kyan McDonald is definitely a player that O'Day values a lot. He's definitely been helping out this team a lot throughout this game right here and previous games as well. He has been very good, and he's been necessary for the times that they have needed him to be there. And when they needed him to be there, he was able to help out and contribute to this team right here.
Speaking of contributions, O'Day football is just, like I've brought up multiple times tonight, it's really community feel. There are a lot of players on the team, a good amount, as Kohler's taking it back, handing it to number 34, Declan Brown, powering his way through as a late hit at Joe Gallagher. That is most likely made unnecessary roughness call on Ballard, number 1, Chase Stanley.
And these penalties right here is exactly what you do not want to have happen. In the first quarter, Ballard had roughly 3 penalties, giving O'Day about 15 yards. And if you put that into perspective about what happened at the very beginning of this game when Ballard was within the 10-yard line of their own end zone, these penalties can surely add up to have something valuable happen to this team. And you got to make sure that you are not causing these to be happening.
And also just those ridiculous penalties you can get. Like that late hit was completely unnecessary. Some of those holding calls, I get it's going to happen every game, but those late hits and unsportsmanlike conduct calls, as a coach, you have to hate seeing that. That is it's just one of those things where it is completely avoidable. Their players, their temper is getting the better of them, and now it's going to cost them 15 yards, and you just don't want to see that as a coach of any team.
Well, this definitely helps out O'Day, but this is definitely not what Ballard wanted to see. They definitely wanted to have the ball on their side of the field. They wanted to have possession and get that ball into their end zone. And that has not been going well for them, but who knows? Maybe in the fourth quarter we will see Ballard do something phenomenal, and we will be right back on YouTube. And we are back live on YouTube tonight at Memorial Stadium on Thursday, October 14th, as we watch the O'Day Fighting Irish go up against the Ballard Beavers. As the fourth quarter is just beginning, and there is a flag on the play.
Number 34, Declan Brown, the ball carrier, brought down. Declan Brown definitely also does baseball and is definitely one of the tougher running backs. If you want trying to image yourself maybe Marshawn Lynch or a Chris Carson type back who will just power through and can maybe pick up 5 guys before being brought down. It's another flag. Looks like what the refs are trying to say. Possibly on Ballard. Seems to be holding. Nope, holding on the Irish. That's going to bring it back 10 yards, repeat first down. Anyway, it looks Declan Brown definitely getting more carries this game. Jason Brown is just work, but also been getting hit, and so they want to give him some breathing room. Just let him rest for a couple of minutes. And the game is definitely in O'Day's favor. I think that one more score would put the icing on the cake for the game. Also, Georgios Christakis still is out, and so Declan Brown's just really filling in and doing a good job, I think, of filling in a tall order here. And looks like Declan Brown and number 30. No, it's not right. Sorry. Declan Brown is not the ball carrier. Let's see who that is. Number 35, Ben Hardy, the ball carrier. This time, fullback. Second down.
Yeah, and back to what you were just saying about that, Riley, about how O'Day has some valuable players out this game, but that still doesn't mean that they have a phenomenal lineup and were able to adjust to that change for this game. And it is handed off to number 34, Declan Brown.
A big trick play as the ball is usually handed off to Ben Hardy. Hardy would flick it back to number 34, Declan Brown, who would sneak around the outside and get a big gain from that, as Ballard completely fell for that. O'Day getting easily 20, if not more, yards, getting a first down at the 22-yard line for your Fighting Irish, as John Kohler celebrating on the sideline. Let's see, number 76 has just entered the game, Nathaniel Nimberg, and it appears Kohler's on the sideline, as Charlie Horry's now quarterback for the Fighting Irish. One thing I really like about Coach Kohler and all of the coaching staff is they make sure that every single player gets a chance to play a little bit, during each game if possible. You know, and all these players, they come out every day practicing hard, hours on a time. And they work hard, and they want to play well, and they want to play well for themselves and play well for the school and play well for their brothers on the field with them.
Yeah, Riley, I 100% agree with you right there. And all of these players on the team right now have great chemistry with each other. They love showing up to practice every day. They love playing these games. Like, this team is a very good team that you want to be coaching right now, and Coach Kohler is definitely the coach to have. Oh, and the ball was fumbled. The ball was fumbled, and it was recovered by number 71.
Isaiah Matthews. Oh, it's just ball fumbling is such a dangerous thing. Like I mentioned earlier, when the ball was scoffed by Evan DiMolanta, when some of those plays, the quarterback is the only one back there, and if it goes over the quarterback's head, then there could be no one to get it, and the defense could recover, and it could be devastating. But obviously, quick reaction time at number 71, Josiah Matthews. You're seeing a lot of younger guys and JV players out here. You see Keith Hendershot is still the left tackle. Charlie Horry dropped it again. Quick reaction time. Horry is back on the ball again. Obviously, you know, I'll see number 50, Jamison Saxton, out on the line. Able to see number 65, Janias Utu also. Actually, Janias is out there pretty often.
This Ballard defense right here has definitely been improving compared to the last quarter in play. They're able to stop O'Day right now. Hopefully for them, O'Day misses this right now, and Ballard is able to recover this and get some points back on the board.
A big kick by Severio DeSimone. It is missed, but that is a tall order. Kicking it from the 33-yard line with the number 3 Luke Dana holding the ball. I mean, for high school, kicking it from that distance that's asking for quite a bit. You have to be a serious kicker in order to make it from that distance, even college, I believe. But, you know, give it to Severio. He got it pretty close, and Severio, and he gave it everything. Ball snapped by the quarterback, throwing it as the referee signaled an incomplete pass at the O'Day sideline. The ball was intended for number 3, Jalen Edwards on the Ballard side. 2nd down, 10 to go. Obviously, Ballard getting the ball from O'Day's field goal spot. As now we see, as the linebackers, Zach Newsom is left the game. As the other guys get a chance, Jack Farmer in for him now. Also number 48, Rogan Bruce, both seniors in for linebackers. You see number 12, Ashton Lacuna in at cornerback. See number 24, Anton Araju in as well. I'll continue to call it these guys as they get in. As ball handed up the middle. Play is stopped by number 79, Eamon Ephraim, the sophomore defensive lineman. Big stop by him. Set back. Seems to be some miscommunication on the front line. Let's see what's going on there. As lined up now, Joe Farley snapping the ball, hands it off again. This play is swallowed up by number 79, Eamon Ephraim again, with an assist from number 88, Dominic Scally. Both sophomores. Make a big stop on the offensive line.
Ballard and they drop it around their own 35-yard line on 1st and 10, I believe, and now making it 2nd and 10 with an incomplete pass.
Number 33, Parker Pantleith, and number 40, Zach Dedeker, have both joined the game in the defensive backs. Parker Pantleith is a senior, Zach Dedeker is a sophomore.
Seems for Ballard, number 4, Alex Good, has subbed in as well. And they hand it off, and he's running through.
Big hole.
And he gets to about their 39-yard line, making it 3rd and 1, I believe. That's what it would be now. And let's see what is happening right now.
3rd and a long yard as O'Day's getting ready to make a big stop, possibly. Ball snapped, hands off to running back, trying to look for a gap. I think he's going to get this first down, but tackle made by number 24, Anton Araju. Also number 37, Jack Farmer on the play. First down for Ballard at about, seems to be, the whistle's blown. Let's see what Stripes has to say about that. All right. The clock is starting up. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Quarterback snaps it. Pass completed, number 2. And tackle made by number 40, Zach Dedeker.
And that was caught by number 2, Dominic Hayes, for the Ballard Beavers, putting them on O'Day's side of the field now at their 49-yard line, just crossing the 50. And Ballard is getting ready to snap it, and they hand it off to number 23, Cole Morris, and it is brought down around the 45, and it is going to be a first down for Ballard with roughly a little under 6 minutes, my bad, to go left in this game. Ballard definitely does not want to give up right now, even though there's not much that it looks like they will be able to do, but they definitely do not want to give up until that clock reaches triple zeros. And as they are getting ready to snap the ball again, let's see, and it looks like it's going to be a pass all the way, and it is caught, and it is taken into the end zone by number.
It's kind of hard to see it.
Yeah, it's really hard to see that, but it looks to be.
We'll let you know as soon as we find out.
I cannot see that number from here. I apologize.
A Ballard player who worked very hard in order to get that touchdown.
But Ballard needed that right now, and their fan base right now is going wild. Ballard definitely needed a touchdown right now, and luckily for them, that is what they just got, and they are getting ready for the field goal right now.
Looks like the snap was a little hard to recover, but number 14, Grant Gerald, was still able to get that ball between the uprights.
And we will be back live on YouTube in just a minute.
Student section still ecstatic as ever, with 5 minutes and 18 seconds left here at Memorial Stadium in downtown Seattle, where O'Day leads the Ballard Beavers 42-14. Ballard just scored a touchdown and is now trying to kick it off to number 6, Jason Brown, the starting running back, who seems to be all by himself back there. Looks like Stripes has something to say again. Whistle set as Ballard is ready to kick the ball away. The ball, ball is scoffed a little bit, covered by Zach Newson, the linebacker. Newson's powering forward, is not going down. They take an entire Ballard defense to take him down as the offense runs onto the field.
And yeah, with O'Day's offense coming out, I know I've said it a few times throughout this game, but their blocking is a key factor in how their offense plays out. Granted, they still have a lot of valuable players that they need to have, but if their offensive line is not playing at 100%, then their entire offense gets messed up. And if O'Day wants to bring the ball down for another touchdown, then they have to make sure that their offensive line is ready to go and block and make sure that the gaps are open. And it is handed off to number
32. Xavier Agassiz, little brother of Donovan Agassiz, who is currently out with a leg injury. Also important to note, now in wide receiver is number 13, Tylen Bell. At tailback position is number 44, sophomore Christian Wynn. Also out wide receiver, number 81, Anthony Tisch. Anthony Tisch and Tylen Bell are both seniors. Charlie Horry is still under center as quarterback. As Horry is taken under center, snaps the ball, throws it to Wynn. As Wynn gains a couple yards, there is a flag on the play. See who it is on. Also in number 50, Jamison Saxon Sr. on the line. The penalty appears to be on O'Day. The ref hasn't said exactly what it is. I believe it is a holding, though. Also at number 85, Jack Wellborn.
And O'Day is getting ready to snap the ball on 2nd and 15, roughly, with about 4.5 minutes remaining in this game. O'Day, there is
flag, whistles blowing. I'm not sure. I almost instinctively said flags flying, but I do not see any flags. Let's see what the call appears to be. Looking at the white hat ref, shoes. No penalty on the play. Something went wrong. I don't know what happened, but the ball is. It's like.
Looks like the ball is still in the same place, but.
All right, now the O-line is getting set up again and ready to snap the ball. Charlie Horry takes it. Ball is loose. Horry recovers it quickly.
And even though right now there's not a lot of time left in this game and not a lot that Ballard can do, you can still tell that they are not giving up. They are still ready to fight this game, even though there's not much that they are able to do right now. They have gotten O'Day to roughly 3rd and 18 with about 3.5 minutes remaining in this game. And it looks like O'Day is getting ready to snap the ball, and it is handed off to number, who's that?
Well, second.
Who's that?
Number. Let's see. I don't know what number. I am very sorry. It could have very well been Anthony Wynn. It could have also been.
Can we just take the time to appreciate how Jack always is able to get these names down? That's impressive. Nice job, Jack. Anyways, it is now 4th down and 11, and it looks like O'Day will be punting the ball with 2.5 minutes remaining in this game.
Hugh McCauley sending it down. It looks like the ref saw something he didn't like, as the ball is around the 24-yard line. A good punt by Hugh McCauley. About 45 yards, maybe.
Yeah, that was a very good punt. It put Ballard about midway through their side of the field, giving them I'd say it gives them a good chance to make a good last run or two, maybe. I feel like they got something left. What do you think about this, Riley?
Well, I think, no matter what team you are, no matter what coach you are, you want to fight to the very end. You don't want to be the coach that's just going to sit on the sideline and pout all day long. because then it doesn't make you look good, doesn't make your team look good. And it also just decreases the morale of your team, because as the coach, if you are, reacting that way, that means your team's not going to be very excited either.
And yeah, Coach Kohler for O'Day definitely is able to help O'Day do what they do best. He's definitely one of our best coaches, if not the best coach we have on this team. And he's always able to get O'Day ready for these games. Every time they go into the locker room for halftime, every time they're at practice, he always is able to get these boys ready to be playing football.
As now typically offensive lineman Keith Hendershot, the left tackle's now on the defensive line, giving that a shot. Coach Kohler just seems to be mixing things up Oh, my bad. It looks like O'Day has the ball. Wait. Yeah, O'Day has the ball.
It looks like a timeout will be called, and we will be back here live at Memorial Stadium on YouTube in just a minute. And we are back live here at Memorial Stadium watching the O'Day Fighting Irish go up against the Ballard Beavers with 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in this game. The score is O'Day 42 and Ballard 14.
So sorry about the confusion on that last play. Before the ball was punted, there was a personal foul committed by Ballard. So that penalty that moved the ball 15 yards, and O'Day got a first down. That was number 44, Christian Wynn, on the carry, sophomore running back. And Charlie Horry is waiting to see what Coach Kohler has in mind for him again. Also, number 88, Dominic Scally, sophomore, is in at wide receiver. Horry is under center, has the ball, hands it to Wynn again. Wynn pushing through, trying to get something. Third down.
And something that's really good about O'Day too is how young their team is. They've had a lot of sophomores contribute to this team this season, and it just goes to show that these guys are going to be on this team for a while, and they're willing to give it their all and help out this team in years to come. They have plenty of years ahead of them to get ready for the future, but right now O'Day is in a very good position.
And also, as it broken through the line, Horry is down. Now his questions, the ball seems to be Ballard's ball.
And it was intercepted by number 55, fumbled, my bad, by Jacob Ivester, who is a junior.
Now, of course, before that fumble happened, if you looked at number 69, Hamilton Wisen, younger brother of our very own Truman Wisen, who was a commentator 2 years ago. Hamilton getting in on the offensive line. As Ballard now has the ball back, as the quarterback, number 5, Joe Farley, takes the ball, throws it downfield. Good gain, brought down by number 12, Ashton Lacuna.
And it looks like he will have gotten a first down for Ballard with only 45 seconds remaining in the game. So this game is pretty much over, but it definitely was a fun one to watch, Riley. What did you think overall about this game?
Well, Luke, I think that this was a huge game. Ooh, big tackle by number 14, Christian Piochinski. I am very sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Sophomore linebacker. Of course, this game, it is a big win for O'Day. And Ballard, the scoreboard may say something, but Ballard came out here and they fought tough. They knew O'Day was one of the top teams in the state. We were looking down at one of the top teams in the state. Ballard still came out here and gave it everything.
And with the final play coming to a close, and it is incomplete, and that concludes this game with the final score being 42 O'Day, 14 Ballard. The O'Day Irish wins again, making their record 5-2, and the Ballard Beavers 2-5. Thank you very much for everyone coming out. I'm Luke Artie.
I'm Riley Kahn. As always, thank you to Alex Lotta, Aiden Dahlberg, and the rest of the O'Day crew and the original broadcast in the Metro League student run. Thank you. I'll see you next week against Garfield.